Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Suicide Squad. So, Suicide Squad stars Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Joel Kinnaman, Viola Davis, Jai Courtney, Cara Delevingne, and Jared Leto. And what this film is about, it's about when Amanda Waller wants to assemble a task force filled with criminals, villains and all that, bad guys, to stop this evil force that's roaming around the city, and they're known as, well, the Suicide Squad. So, what did I think of Suicide Squad? I love this movie. This movie was so awesome. Now, with Batman v Superman, I got the hate, honestly. I understand why people didn't like that movie. With this, I seriously don't get the hate. I really don't. This was such an awesome, fun comic book movie. I really did love this movie. This was such an awesome film. So, let's get to my positives. And my positives are the acting with the film. The acting I thought was really great in this movie. I thought everyone did a really good job in this movie. First being Will Smith. Will Smith was very enjoyable as Deadshot. I really enjoyed him in the movie. He was really good in the film. I did really like Will Smith. He was funny, he was witty, and also had a really good emotional attachment to him, which I was very surprised by and really didn't see coming in this movie. So I did really like Will Smith as Deadshot. He was very enjoyable. I think he did a really good job with that character. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, she was great as well. I thought she did a really good job in the movie as well. I really enjoyed her in the film as well. She captured everything about Harley Quinn that you would imagine, and she does a really great job with that. I really enjoyed her in the film. Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag was really good too. I really like Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. Joel Kinnaman is really one of those actors that really is going under the radar, I think, and really just hasn't been appreciated all that much, because I thought he was really good as RoboCop in the RoboCop remake, and I really liked him in The Run All Night. So, and I really liked him in this movie too. So it's really great to maybe this will finally be the movie that really gets Joel Kinnaman real recognition, because he really deserves it, because he's a great actor, and he was really good in this movie. So, Viola Davis I thought was really good as Amanda Waller as well. She did a very good job. I really enjoyed her in the film. I really liked Viola Davis in the film as well. Jai Courtney. I can't even believe I'm about to say this. I can't even believe it. Jai Courtney was good. He was good. He was good in this movie. I enjoyed his character. He was actually really enjoyable and really funny. I actually enjoyed Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang in this movie. He was very enjoyable. Really enjoyed his character. Honestly, I thought he was one of the best characters in the movie, to be honest. He was just so enjoyable and just so funny in the movie. So yeah, I enjoyed Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Now the final thing. Jared Leto as the Joker. This dude nailed it. He was awesome as the Joker. I loved this interpretation of the Joker. This was so incredible. The dude stole the entire show. He was my favorite thing about this movie. Although he's not in it that much of the film, he was by far the best thing about it. He was just so awesome, just so charismatic, and so just embodied the character of the Joker. I just love that. Just every time he was on screen, it stopped. The movie stopped. It stopped because just of how great he was, and just was stealing the entire show. I loved the Joker in this film. Jared Leto did an absolutely incredible job as the Joker, and now I can't wait to see more of the Joker in the DC Cinematic Universe, because, man, did I love the Joker in this movie, because he was just so awesome. Now the action. The action was great with the movie as well. I thought the action was phenomenal. I loved the action with this movie. Had some really cool action scenes. Really loved the action with the film. So yeah, some great action. The dynamic between all the team members. I love the dynamic between all the members of the team, because, they were just great. I really loved the interaction between all the team members. They definitely did have great chemistry with each other. And it was just nice to see that back and forth with those characters. So yeah. The amount of heart this movie actually has I was very surprised by that. I was very surprised by the amount of heart that this movie had. I really did. I was very surprised by that. This movie actually has a lot more heart than you think it would. And I actually really like that with the movie. The writing's great. I love the writing with the film. The writing was really great with this movie. The directing was great. The movie's directed by David Ayer. I thought he did a great job directing this movie. Definitely did a phenomenal job directing it. The pacing. The pacing was really good too. Kind of like how it was with Warcraft. I really don't get why people were saying, oh, I felt like stuff was cut out. It felt like it was cut out. I didn't really feel like that, honestly. I felt the movie was perfectly, moving at a perfectly good pace, honestly. Honestly, I never felt like anything was cut out of the movie. That could just be me, of course, but it's not like with Batman v Superman where I felt like stuff was cut out of it. Not with this movie. I felt like everything that was there needed to be there, honestly. So yeah, the pacing was really good with the movie. So yeah, I really like the pacing to it. Now the negatives with this movie. I do have a few negatives with the film. First being some of the visual effects look really bad. There were some really good visual effects, which I forgot to mention in my positives, but there were some really good visual effects. And then there were some really bad visual effects. Like, it really just looked terrible. It looked like something out of, late 90s special effects, honestly. It looked terrible. Especially on one main villain in this movie, honestly. It just looked completely awful, honestly. So, yeah. And speaking of the villains themselves, they were just weak. Now, I won't spoil who the villains are of this movie. Actually, I need to in some ways, so if you don't want to know who the villains are of this movie, then just click away, because I really need to talk about this. Okay, so the villains of this movie are, you've been warned, Enchantress, and this other entity that Enchantress has, awakened, which is her brother. Honestly, they were really terrible as villains. They were just awful. I mean, all Cara Delevingne does as Enchantress does this. That's all she does. I'm serious. She was a really, really terrible villain, and it just felt like the writers just want to throw in a villain. We're just like, oh, we need villains. Let's throw in Enchantress. It just felt like very, very just forced in. That these two villains were in the film. So yeah, I felt like Enchantress and her brother were just really, really bad villains, and they did not feel like a threat at all to me for the Suicide Squad. But besides that, I loved Suicide Squad. I really don't get the hate the movie's getting right now. It was so awesome, so fun, so enjoyable. So yeah. So it's time for my official grade on Suicide Squad, and my official grade on Suicide Squad is an A-. Awesome movie. Loved it. Definitely a great summer movie. Definitely was not disappointed by this film. I truly loved the movie. It was great. Definitely deserves an A-. So, what did you guys think of Suicide Squad? Leave it in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we will see you all later. Peace.